So let me get this straight, because I think this is really important to the American people. Do all of you agree that there is foreign influence in U.S. elections? You agree, yes? Yes. So the record will reflect all four agree that there are. And Mr. Bowman, you recognize that in particular there are certain countries that are uniquely interested in interfering in U.S. elections, in particular Russia, Iran, and North Korea. Is that accurate?
That's accurate, Mr. Chairman.
And also China.
Yeah.
Yes. And so if we think about this, we should be looking at what are the ways that foreign interference could take place in the United States. One is through breaking current U.S. law. The other is through legal loopholes that exist under current law. So first, on the illegal side, this committee was working to make sure there was only U.S. citizens voting in U.S. elections. Under current law, that's required, but we were putting forward the SAVE Act to make sure that we are ensuring that's the case. As we look to online giving, we have seen significant vulnerabilities in online giving platforms, and in particular, ActBlue. And so, Mr. O'Neill, would you agree that we should be working to close online vulnerabilities on an online giving platform, such as requiring a CVV number, banning the use of prepaid foreign gift cards? Are those logical steps that should be taken?
Yes.
And so then I think what really is surprising to the American people, because when I talk to people about this, they don't recognize that we have massive legal loopholes. And Ms. Sutherland, you laid that out very clearly as to how this can take place. And Mr. Johnson recognized how it is impacting him in the state of Montana. But let's dive into this loophole. So to confirm here, under current U.S. law, a foreign national can transfer money into a 501c organization in the United States. That 501c organization can then transfer 40% of that money into another 501c that can operate as a super PAC or directly engage in U.S. elections. Is that accurate?
Yes.
And you think that that loophole should be closed?
Absolutely.
I 100% agree. And then we also look at another loophole that exists, which allows foreign nationals to transfer funds directly into ballot initiatives. And I think this is missed by a lot of people, because what we saw in the last election is very important ballot initiatives in states like Ohio. We saw an important ballot initiative in states like Florida. And we saw foreign funds coming into those elections. Is that accurate?
Yes.
How much went into the state of Ohio for the ballot initiative from foreign sources in your estimates?
So we've been able to trace into Ohio millions coming from foreign-backed cash into Ohio. And Ohio recognized the threat of that, and that's why they stepped up and they actually voted this year to ban foreign funding other state ballot initiatives.
To ban it going forward, but not to ban it historically. This money came into the state of Ohio under your research. Is that accurate?
Yes, that's accurate.
And did this money come into the state of Florida?
Yes.
And so is there any reason that Congress should not ban foreign money from coming into ballot initiatives in states across the country?
Absolutely no reason to not ban it.
Does anyone have an argument that we should not ban that foreign funds from coming into ballot initiatives? Any of our witnesses? The record reflect all of them agree that we should work to ban this. We have legislation to ban this at the federal level, and we continue to get caught up in the gobbledygook. But when you look at the impact that these foreign funds are having directly in U.S. elections, I think most Americans would be shocked. Because we know on the books a foreign national is not allowed to directly contribute into a U.S. candidate. Is that accurate, Ms. Sutherland?
That's correct.
But all they have to do is simply use the workaround and implement their funds and channel it through a loophole that allows those funds to come in and directly impact U.S. elections, correct?
Correct.
And so as we look at the impact that this has in our elections, how much money have you identified just one foreign individual spending in the past handful of years?
Yeah, so Hans-Jörg Wyss, who's a Swiss billionaire and not a U.S. citizen, has contributed around $250 million into the 1630 fund. And then the 1630 fund turns around and spends it on a whole host of activities.
And I think when the American people realize that this vulnerability exists in our U.S. election system, and as Mr. Bowman pointed out, not only may there be rich billionaires across the globe, but there could be state actors that could engage in this. We could completely envision this same technique being utilized by a Chinese national, a North Korean national, a Russian national, who has a direct interest on U.S. policy. We go back and we look at the array of groups that were interested in killing the Keystone XL pipeline, and we have seen Russian action as it relates to energy production across the globe. Is that accurate, Ms. Sutherland?
Yes.
Now, we could look at a whole host of reasons. I think it is imperative of this committee as we move forward to not only continue to work on the enforcement of our current law, which is including making sure that there's proper security procedures in place in Act Blue, that online giving platforms are blocking foreign funds from coming in. But I think one of the real missed pieces of this is the proven millions of dollars that are coming in from foreign nationals directly impacting U.S. campaigns. We have an opportunity to close it. We have legislation to close it. I think it's imperative that we actually pass this and it becomes law, as the state of Ohio did. I will now yield back. I'll recognize the ranking member, Mr. Morelli, for 5 minutes.